Comparisons are very irrational. Still comparisons and a lot of logic and persuasion in this stage, right? And at the end of the day, after all of that is done, it's the easy part. It's when people decide to buy and purchase, and that's actually e-commerce. Everybody talks about e-commerce as if it's the new world. It's actually just a website where you can go and buy things online, and order things online. And I mean, do we really have to worry about the purchase stage? No, because the company has already provided an e-commerce platform. Nuskin.com is among, in terms of quality, is among the best e-commerce platform out there. Right? You go onto a website, you have nearly 50 different markets to choose from. And wherever you live, the Nuskin branch office in that particular location would deliver to you directly. As entrepreneurs, we don't even touch a finger. But at the end of the month, or on the 15th of every month, we still have our commission paid out from that transactions. That's the best e-commerce platform ever, compared to all other e-commerce platforms. So Nuskin.com already takes care of this. And then finally is customer management, where we build loyalty with consumers. And loyalty, I think we're very lucky that the company has had for a long time loyalty programs, which will change in their velocity, but I'm sure the company will always find a way to deliver maximum value to both consumers and ourselves. So the company has already helped us with 50% of building loyalty through their programs, right? And the remaining 50% is with us. And it's in building the human connection and the kind of relationship that will keep consumers with us for a long time, for a lifetime, which is our ideal. So if you look at this, whatever we do on social media to build or to reinforce or to improve the efficiency and the effectiveness of our Nuskin business obviously only revolves around these two stages, right? Because once they come to purchase, it's no longer in social media. I mean, we might talk to each other and they may say to us in the chat, hey, send me one, right? But that's very rare. Most of the time, especially if you do global business, it'll be on a website. And this, the company also takes care. And we only do this after the transaction is successful. So whatever we do on social media only revolves around these two stages. So as an entrepreneur, I look at this and I think, what is the game plan? What is the strategy here? Now that we understand how consumers think and behave, what is the game plan here? And the approach that we've taken is one based on attraction marketing. Attraction marketing sounds complicated. To us, it's basically just focusing and doing the one thing on social media that can lead you to long-term value, and that's to build a personal brand. Build a personal brand. I'll come back to this, and if you guys like, I actually share with corporate, I'm happy to share my slides. So if it's hard to take photos, don't worry, I'll share the slides. But if you come back to this and you think about the meaning and the role of a personal brand, if each of us here as Nuskin distributors have a solid personal brand online, that means we can maximize consumers' awareness. But more importantly, at the same time, we can minimize their consideration. Because that's how they'll never have to go onto Google again. If they like it, if they like us, and if they trust us enough, they'll stay with us, right? They look at our post about LumiSpa on Facebook, and if they really like us and trust us, now that they want to know more about the LumiSpa, instead of going on Google, they're just going to send us a direct message. And if that like and that trust is strong enough, we can just provide them with information and consultation right there. They don't have to go anywhere, they don't have to Google anything. And this is so powerful, and I'd like to take one more minute to talk about this, because it is so powerful. I traditionally hated sale. Actually scared of sale. Till today, I still don't think I like to sell. But the one thing that the personal branding on Facebook has done for me is that now, I was going to say I can sit at home, but that sounds lazy. I sit at home because that's why I have good internet connection and drinks, whatever. But now I can just be focused on my personal branding on Facebook, and customers come to me, strangers come to me, potential candidates come to me. That doesn't mean they'll all join and they'll all buy, okay? But that means I have created an attraction force. And I have a constant incoming source of customers and potential candidates. And so I stay there, I speak to them. Most of my customers never ask me the question, oh, why is your price different? I've never actually received that question because they like me enough and they trust me enough that they didn't have to go on Google. And they like me enough and they trust me enough so that when I say the price and the price match with their pocket and they're happy to buy the products, most of them would transfer me the money before I ship them the products. Okay, I do the shipping because in Vietnam, we're still a very cash-based society. So even though Niskin Vietnam has the online website, most people don't want to go on there and put their card information in there. So e-commerce in Vietnam is still a distant future. So for now, if a customer want to buy something, they still transfer us the money, bank transfer, and then we still ship them the products. So just a context explanation. Okay, so this is incredibly important, and this is the kind of long-term business that I'd like for us all to build online. Not a few sales. Because yesterday, I think corporate, or I can't remember, GU, or Ben from corporate asked me the question, why would you not use paid marketing? Well, for once, it's illegal. Not illegal, but MOM laws worldwide, right, considers advertising online a direct form of advertising. And so it's illegal for MOM companies to engage in that. Also illegal for MOM distributors to engage in that. But more importantly, even beside the point of legal, is that if you use paid marketing, then in the eye of the consumers and customers, you are just like other 1,000 online sellers. You're just another faceless online shop. Okay, and today they might buy the Lumi Spa from you, tomorrow they will buy the Gauri Spa from someone else. Because they are not your friend, and you are not their friend. So that's from a business perspective, and that's why we don't choose paid marketing, because it doesn't mean anything, it's sales. But there's no long-term value. Okay? And we're very focused on organic personal branding, because that's where, this is actually the Niskin business, that's where the authentic human connection comes in. And it might be a little harder to build that kind of thing online, but it's still feasible. And it's not here to replace whatever we're doing offline. It's here to complement. And so we add an extra layer in whatever we're doing. Yeah, that's how we've been doing it at our team. So, attraction marketing. I know on Facebook we have many different kinds of resources. We have our profile, we have groups, we have the group chats, we have everything. So the two main things that I use until today, and I only focus on this, I don't even have a YouTube channel, because Facebook is where most interaction occurs, is I use my personal Facebook profile to build my personal brand. And then once I attracted a following, and of course I invite them into customers and distributors, then I use Facebook groups, right? And they can be closed or secret, depending on your preference, to build a community. Because now you have a following and you have identified that they are not just general following. Because 80% of the people who follow you because they like you. And they like the kind of content that you share online. How to make people like the content that you share online? That's in the specific how-to later. Okay? But if you imagine this, a lot of people just follow you because they like you. A lot of people send me a direct messages and ask to buy products. And then at the end of the day, admitted that they're only buying the products because they like to be close to my mom and I. Because they like us that much. Okay? So most people will just be there and they like you, but some of them will actually become your customers. And so then we have groups to take care of our customers, because then they're already a community, right? And we need a planned effort, a scheduled effort to take care of them, to give them update, to give them information on upcoming promotions, etc., etc. That's in the Facebook group for the customers. And for everyone else who decided to become a distributors, they're in the Facebook group for distributors. Yeah? So that's simple and easy. And at the end of the day, the like and the trust that you instilled in people allow you to build an influence. And influence is incredibly important online. Because influence means you can make people think the way you think, and you can make them do what you'd like them to do. That's influence. That comes, of course, after saying that, I realized, that comes, of course, with a very important disclaimer, in that we have a huge responsibility to put their benefits above our own profit. Right? If you want to build long-term relationships and long-term value for both sides. Okay, so that's attraction marketing. Now, the kind of content that you put on your personal Facebook. I have young friends who come to me and say, "Yeah, I want to start start with Nu Skin," and I say, "Cool! I teach you because you're young, you have no money, you have no knowledge and no experience. You also have no social contacts. I will teach you how to leverage social media to get started a little more effectively for your circumstances." Okay, so the next day, the young friend come back, showed me her Facebook, and her profile picture has been changed into a Gavinic spa. And her cover photo on Facebook has been changed into a table full of Nu Skin products. I said, what are you doing? And she said, preparing to do business online. Right? And that's the kind of general misconception about doing business online, is that, oh, we're here to sell. If we're here to sell, we better talk about the products. No. It's called personal Facebook for a reason. That's what the fan pages are made for. The fan pages are made for enterprises and brands who want to pay money to reach people more quickly. But we're here on the personal Facebook, and the personal Facebook should be personal. Okay? So 80% of whatever you decide to post on your personal Facebook, please make it personal. Because your personal content make people like and trust you. And only when you've built a good influence on them, then whatever sale content that you put on will have a high conversion rate. This is why most of our conversion rate is very low. Because too much of our content is commercial and sale. And not enough of the personal content. So, in Vietnam, we have this very nice formula, and it rhymes, but I can't translate it to English to make it rhymes. But it basically means before we can sell something, we must first become friends. Then we must become very close friends, because close friends can say everything and can tell each other everything without the fear of being judged. Right? That's close friends. And after you become close friends, the sale comes naturally. We all want to help our friends out. So if we become close friends, everyone would want to buy something from us to support us. It's just natural, social relationships. Okay? So personal sale 80-20, please. I'll share with you more about my posting schedule later, and it could be clearer what this means. So, one of the very core concepts of personal branding is to know yourself. I'm not sure if this is a particular problem in Singapore or for distributors here. I have a particular problem with helping young people to find themselves. They just don't know who they are. So these 7 questions are very important. And for our team, they have been very useful to help people find themselves. First question is, who are you? Okay? I know some teams have had good formulas of describing themselves in different keywords, as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as a brother, as a rock climber, etc., etc. That's the kind of thing that we can put here at the first question, who are you? But that normally refers to your personal and basic details. Okay, your name, your age, your hometown, your kind of family circumstances. Do you have any brothers and sisters? Are you the only child? What subject do you learn at school? Because this is your personal. What subject do you learn at school? Because the kind of things that you learn sort of defines and determines who you are and your fields of interests. What are your hobbies? What are your fields of interests? Okay, so that's the first question. The second question is, what values and benefits can you give to your community? So whatever strength, whatever knowledge and skill that you identify in yourself, the second question asks you to now put it in someone else's perspectives and see how it can be valuable to others. This is easy. I mean, most of us here, if you've spent some time working in a company or in a corporate job before you join Nu Skin, you have a mountain of knowledge and experience to share to others about job applications, right? About choosing a profession that suits you, about career progression, etc., etc. We all have a wealth of information and knowledge to share with one another. We have many distributors in East Europe, from the first guy's story, who are normally store owners, right? They normally own like a little store selling Vietnamese goods in the Czech Republic or in Hungary. And when they come to this question 2, they often tell me, I don't know, I can't do anything for others. Not that I don't want to, I don't have anything to give. And I said, excuse me, you're a Vietnamese living in East Europe. Do you know how many Vietnamese people want to go to Europe? Okay, just where you live alone is a wealth of information that you can share with others. Take people on tour. This is the kind of food that we eat in the Czech Republic. Well, bread and butter. And other national cuisines. You know, take them on tour. This is the town hall. This is the square. You have a wealth of information to share with others. But normally we kind of belittle ourselves and we think, I have nothing to give. We all have a lot to give. So please, give a lot of time to question 2. Very valuable. Question 3, how do people visualize you? So take note of the word visualization. This means what they see. And do you have like a style that sort of leaves an imprint in people's memories? So, I mean, we've only met for 1.5 days, but if you meet me long enough in Vietnam and in other places, you'll see that these are the colors I'm mostly in. Just because I like black and white. This morning I was stopped twice in the breakfast hall because people thought I was a waiter. Everyone was like, and I'm Asian, I'm young. Everyone was like, hey, where's the hot water? I don't know, but if you can show me, I'd also like to have hot water. This is visualization. How do people remember you? You know, do you have, like, I have white hair, I don't know, whatever. Your style. I've seen so many great hair colors in this room. That's your personal style. That's how you make people remember you. That doesn't mean we all have to go dye our hair, but this is visualization. So, do you have like a specific, like a specific style about yourself? Number 4 is more interesting. How do people feel about you? So these refers obviously not to appearance, but it refers to feelings. Keywords relating to things like friendliness, like energetic. Surely everyone will know my mom is now a mountain of energy, right? That's how people feel about her. So these are feelings. Number 5, why would people want to be friends with you? Oh my God, this is a tough question. I didn't know how to translate this question to make it sound a little less strange. We're trying to justify why people want to be friends with us. But maybe if we think for 2 minutes and we don't find any justification on why people want to be friends with us, maybe we should look back at ourselves. I mean, number 5 is, why would people want to be friends with us? It relates to number 2, right? What's there about us? What kind of support and sharing and value can we add to their lives, etc., etc. That's number 5. Number 6, why would people want to use your product and service? Now, when I ask this question, many of my distributors start listing things about the company. We're a public company. We have 75 scientists. No, please reread the question. Why would people want to use your product and service? From you. From you, right? And number 7, why would people believe what you have to say? So I think these are very important questions. I think all brands, if you do traditional marketing for brands and corporates, will always have value propositions like this. But as freelancers, and we've never looked at marketing from this traditional perspective, but I find this incredibly useful for personal branding. Very, very useful. So, this 7th question, if you sort of know who you are, you have your style, and you can naturally express it online, like my mom, never answered these questions, still did it perfectly. Maybe you don't have to answer the questions. But if you look at your Facebook and you're a little puzzled and you don't know how to come across others or how to express or represent yourself to others, then I think the 7 questions will be very useful. I find young people nowadays especially have problem answering these questions. They don't think about themselves a lot. So, marketing has gone through an evolution. And here I'd like to talk about our potential role online as entrepreneurs and as boosting partners and distributors. Marketing 1.0 is to sell whatever the manufacturer has. Henry Ford famously said that the customer can have any color as long as it's black. Because he was the first person to ever mass manufacture cars, and everyone was queuing up to buy a car. And he was the only one on the market, so he could afford to not really care about the customers. We have black cars. You either get a black car or you have no car at all. That was Henry Ford when he first came out with the car, right? So marketing 1.0 for many decades followed this to sell whatever a manufacturer has. And then of course, the internet came and the bargaining power kind of leveled out a little. And buyers now have as much information as the sellers. And so now people have to change to sell what the customer needs. I think in a lot of marketing schools of thought, they still talk about this today, right? Sell what the customer needs. But then this approach also presented a problem. And that problem is it very easily leads to manipulation, right, of the customer psychology and behaviors to just force them and make them think that they need this so they buy. So it also leads to a lot of problems. And so finally, marketing 3.0, which is closest to our era right now, I think is for everyone online to become a consultant. And the role of consultant, of course, is to make comparisons, is to help the customers make comparisons, analysis, is to look at the pros and the cons of the different range of options. And finally, to help them make the right purchase. And of course, in life, there's very rarely black or white, right or wrong. Right purchase here is the right purchase for that customer at that very point in time, for whatever need they have, for whatever financial capability that they have. So let's say a customer comes to me and asks about the LumiSpa. This is probably a sales technique we're all familiar with. I'll always answer with a question. Because we're there as a consultant. We're not a machine where they press the button and we have to spit out information. No. So if they ask me about the LumiSpa, how much is this? This is how people normally start a conversation, right? How much is this? The first thing I ask them is, have you ever used the facial cleansers before? Or have you been washing your face with your hands? Because I need to know who the customers are. I need to know who they are, their place, their positioning right now. Are they familiar with facial cleansers in general, or is this their first facial cleansers? Because that will determine the kind of information that I give to them next. Right? So understanding the customers and the context, very important. So I ask, have you used the facial cleansers before? And then the conversation continues, but I'm, as a consultant, almost as a coach, as we are all in this business, we'll try to ask more questions. Then we can direct the conversations in the direction that we want, right? And then we can give them advice instead of sales pitch. And this is how my personal branding on Facebook has helped me generate good sales, even though I don't like sales. If people come to me, I ask them, I say to them, okay, so with your pocket right now, you're young and you've never used the facial cleansers before. Of course, if you can make the money, buy the LumiSpa. It's the best option. But if not, these are the alternatives you can consider. So if you give them advice like that, it further instills trust. Because they see that you're just not trying to push something onto them. And who knows, they might refer 10 friends to buy the LumiSpas from you later. Because they trust you enough. Yeah? So, help customer make the right purchase. To me, the consultant role is very clear. I actually apply the same principle when I prospect. And I show them different options. Okay, so these are some examples. We're coming to the end of the first part, which is perspectives and viewpoints on the role of social media in our newskin business. So these are some examples. The kind of reach, completely 100% organic. I don't buy likes because they don't mean anything. But if you build content good enough, and I've done this for 2 years, please take note. Some of my posts could generate hundreds of likes. This says 403. It's a little small. Anyway, so this is the kind of reach that the internet can provide to you. Some people say, of course, it's easy to use to have 400 likes. You're quite good looking, white hair. Your profile says Oxford. Of course, it's easy for people to like you. Well, this is a downline of mine, 22, 23, just graduated from school, fresh. Did even better than I did, 407. 4 likes more than me now. He almost had nothing. I mean, if it were me, I'd tell him to take a selfie somewhere else. Oh my God, the background looks a little dubious. Okay? But it doesn't matter, because he's built a rapport, a sort of bond with his audience. And actually, his caption is 4 words. My face is getting big. That's 400 likes. Sometimes I think, we first posted it, I said, maybe you should have a better caption. But then I saw the number of likes and I realized, oh, that's his age. That's how people at 22 think. Okay, so that's their own conversation. I'm 30, I'm 32. I'm a different generation. I shouldn't interfere. But so this is to show you is nothing special. I mean, okay, looks okay. Nothing special. Can still have the kind of influence online. But the numbers are only there to show you the potential. I'd like to confirm that you don't have to reach 400 likes, because 400 likes means nothing if you don't have people inquiring you about the product and the business opportunity. So what counts is the direct message. Because when people really want and they really like you, they really trust you, they will send you the direct message to inquire. So this is a superstar in our team. We call her superstar because she has achieved something incredible. Her live stream only has 100 views. To me, that's quite low. Wow, 100 views. But her inbox goes crazy. Okay, so this is to show you that the numbers don't necessarily mean anything. The big numbers are only there to show you the potential. Okay, but if you build good connections and relationships and branding, people will still come to you. This is where their team does 9 girls and 1 guy did a weekly spa night. So all 9 of them, is it 9? Yes, I'm bad at maths. That's 9. So all 9 of them go online at the same times and just clean their face together online. I've never tried that. I'm not confident enough to clean my face on live stream. See, even I have barriers. But they did it, and they achieved very good results. Live stream, I won't talk much about this. I realize not everyone is comfortable speaking in front of a camera, almost like speaking to yourself, laughing alone, making jokes alone, and then you might have hearts. And so I won't talk so much about this. But the reason why, because of my position, because of the long time I've spent building on social media, when live stream first came out last summer, I jumped on it because I wanted to try and see if this is duplicable, so I tried it out. So again, 20,000 views, thankfully, very thankfully, 57 shares, 400 whatever reactions. Again, these numbers are here to show you the potential. Why am I on live stream? The same sharing that I've done yesterday and today, if done in a room, the limitations. If I do the same presentations online, look at the kind of people that I can reach, right? At the end of the day, as we build ourselves, build our branding, improve ourselves to improve the conversion rate, we still want the mass numbers coming in. We still want to maximize the mass number of people here. So this is just the kind of reach that the live stream can do for you. Our multi-minute link did better than me, 33,000 views. Wow. But then again, you don't have to have thousands and thousands of views to generate sales or to attract distributors. Same lady, only 1,000 views. To me, that's very little. But then again, her inbox goes crazy still. Okay, she still recruits very well and still has many loyal customers. And whatever she does here, I find duplicable. They just go online and they start talking about the products. Before that, they have done many live streams talking about themselves and their lives. After that, they start talking about the products. And there, she's showing people how the Age Like Me works. And her downline, I'm not sure what she's doing there. Probably waiting to clean her face afterwards. But yeah, very simple, right? Duplicable, downline can do, okay? So that was how you use social media for recruiting, to attract people, to increase the number of people that you can reach, and to also increase your conversion rate, to be personal in content. Retention of people, I won't go into deep details, because how we retain people goes a long way back to your team's culture and procedures and systems and trainings. And we all have different systems and trainings. But I just like to affirm that you don't have to do anything complicated, just use a group. This is our Facebook group for our team in Vietnam. And you see here on the side we have many, many other groups. Right? Because groups is where you build community. These people are interested. You're talking about their field of interests. And you keep them updated, share with them events, and you share with them values and trainings. Okay, so we do all of our trainings and sharings in our closed group. Actually, this is a secret group. So we have a higher filter on who can be added to these groups. Nothing complicated. Don't have to use terrible technologies. Okay. So this is part one. I'm feeling hot, so spend 5 minutes maybe for us all to get a break. I don't know if anyone need a toilet break. Or I know the Q&As are supposed to be left until later, but actually I don't intend to speak for 2 hours.